how do you sort of switch off from it? And because it is such an intense job, and I know Jono closely, and he's told me about sort of how stressful it can be. How do you then, sort of when you get home, be a dad and a husband, and is that difficult? I imagine it is.
Yeah, it can be. I know it winds my wife up sometimes when you're at home but you're not because your head's somewhere else, or you're like messaging, or you're doing your emails or whatever on your phone. And I wind myself up sometimes because you end up in a place like that, your kids are trying to talk to you or whatever, and you're just kind of like, I've got stuff to do, which is no good. So again, over time I've kind of learned to draw those lines a bit better. It winds some colleagues up because I'll go, right, no, it's Sunday actually. And I still do loads of sport. I was reffing the under-10s football last week. I coached hockey on a Sunday, so I kind of draw that line. I'll sit up till 11 o'clock on a Friday night to get everything done and boxed off, so that I can have more of a weekend. And I still end up doing things over the weekend as well, or events or whatever. But it just means I can go to the kids' football and I can do the coaching on the Sunday, and I can kind of draw those clear lines that just say, yeah, I'm not working at this point in time, which you could literally work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not touch the sides of all the things that go on in this place and all the different issues. So like I say, you just got to focus and draw those lines. It does mean that people will come and say, can you come and speak at this dinner, or can you come to this community event, and I have to say, like, sorry, I'm going to my kids' football, which can annoy some people, but you've got to get that balance.
100%. Yeah, and I can imagine setting those boundaries are quite important, and it sounds like that's something you've had to sort of realise over time, I guess, and from experience. And
you throw yourself in at the beginning, right, and rightly so, because you've just been elected and you want to show that willing, and you want to be part of it, and you want to meet people, and still do, but then you've also got to balance your own family. It's not, you've got to be fair to wife and kids as well. You've got to balance your own kind of well-being in that sense. You can't, if you just spread yourself too thin, or you just end up knackered and you lose your enthusiasm for it, and you're not helping anybody either. So try and draw those lines. It can be hard because you get messages all the time saying, oh, can you just donate to this fundraiser, can you just come to this event, and you have to sometimes just go, well, as a rule, no, I can't, because if I do it for you, I've got to do it for everybody, and I can't be at everything all the time. Sometimes people either get it or they don't, right? But I've also, and this probably sounds awful, but like to a certain extent, I've also learned to be a bit more comfortable in just being myself, right? And if people vote for me, they vote for me, and if they don't, they don't. I'm not gonna kind of bend over backwards in some ways, you know what I mean? Because you can just end up digging yourself into a hole, or setting an expectation that you can't meet. So I tend just to be upfront with people, and I've got better. I think it might be better, it might be worse, at just sending those quite blunt emails back, just going, you know what, you're kind of expecting too much from me here, I can't do that. And just trying to be honest about it with people who either appreciate it or they don't.